Hi everybody, today we're going to be reading The Painting of the King. Let us start. Once upon a time there was a ruler who had the crown of Rome. He was a generous and a benevolent king, but unfortunately the king was devoid of his left leg and left eye. This was the only thing that made him unhappy. However, his people were very honest and sincere to him and his kingdom. He was very intelligent and made decisions wisely. One day, while he was taking the round of his court, he entered the hallway. The portraits of all the descendants were lined up in the hallway. He proudly looked at all the portraits. He thought that one day his portrait will also be hung here, and his children will look at it proudly. At the same time, a second thought came to his mind that his portrait can never be beautiful like his ancestors because he has one eye and one leg missing. He became sad again. The next day he invited all the painters of his country to the court. He presented his deal to them. The king said, "I want you to make my beautiful portrait. The painter will make it the best will be awarded a large sum of money." None of the painters was ready to make his portrait. All of them thought that he lacked one eye and one leg. Then how can they make a beautiful portrait of the king? They were also afraid if the king didn't like it, they would be punished instead of getting the reward. One by one, all of the writers backed off politely so the king wouldn't feel bad. After all the painters refused to take the work, there was one person named Damas who said that he would do this. He will make a beautiful portrait of the king. The king was happy to hear this. He was ordered to start working. He took a palette of colors and a canvas and started carving the portrait. All the other painters were curious to look at the portrait. After he completed, he showed it to the king. To surprise the king and all the painters present in the court, the portrait was painted really beautifully. He showed a positive sign of the king. He showed the king was sitting on a horse from a right side and was holding a bow and arrow in it, as he was about to attack the enemy with the arrow with his left eye closed. The king was impressed with the idea and intelligence of the painter. As he had promised, he awarded him a huge sum of money and awarded him the title of the best painter. Moral: always think positive. Focus on positive things than rather weakness. And this is the end of the story. Bye, guys.